Oh, love that smell. It's definitely a unique, sweet smell. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to McElroy's Motors. And in today's video is quite an important one because, as you can see, my little yellow nugget is looking as sweet as ever, but my Kia has disappeared. Yes, that is right. I had sold the bitch. And here's why. You see, you guys, after we came back from Fort Wayne, Indiana, my Kia decided to give me a little bit more trouble than I had bargained for. Her brake pads decided to go out on me, and then when I replaced the brake pads, all hell let loose because when I replaced the brake pads, her calipers decided to go, and on top of that, the brake line went, and of course the brake rotors decided to go all at once. And as such, I really did not need another project. I got this Yellow Wonder to be my project, but I didn't need another project other than that. Luckily, however, she is going to a good home. She's going to a town just outside Chillicothe, Ohio, so it's going to go to a good home to a bunch of car-oriented people who daily drive and fix up cars as their own. That being said, however, I cannot use my Trabant here every day. It's just too risky. So it's going to be a little while before I get two cars back in my possession again. But I definitely wanted to share with you guys today what exactly I'm looking for my next daily driver. My new daily driver must not be more than 20 years old. And the reason why I say that is because even though 20-year-old cars are some of the best cars in terms of comfort and reliability, I do want something a little bit newer and something with a little bit more equipment than the Kia had. The Kia had power windows and locks and a nice AM/FM CD player, but the CD player didn't work. I want something a little bit more loaded and a little bit more refined than that. Because one thing the Kia was good at, even though it was great at being good on road trips, it was also good at being at one thing. Given the feeling of being a cheap first car, like it felt like something my grandmother gave to me after having it for so many years. Golly, I love the sound of a power stroke. So with the Kia out of my possession, in fact, it felt like very much like a first car, like something I would get when I was 16. Bear in mind, I'm almost 26. I want something a little bit more refined. I want something with a little bit more creature comforts, if you will. Something with not just an aux jack, but possibly heated seats, maybe some dual zone climate control, something that's going to be actually really nice and really comfortable on long distance journeys. Even though the Kia was comfortable on long distance journeys, it didn't really have anything else going for it. And while those features are definitely not mandatory, I would say the one thing that is definitely mandatory is something with a good reliability record. Don't get me wrong, the Kia was decent when it came to reliability, but in terms of overall longevity, it was definitely questionable. Yeah, I put 20,000 miles on that car because I did not just drive it to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I drove it basically from here in Akron, Ohio to Fort Wayne, Indiana. I've driven it to Trumansburg, New York. I've driven to Niagara Falls. I've driven to Washington, D.C. I've driven to Alexandria, Virginia, as well as to Pittsburgh and many other little towns in Pennsylvania as well. So yeah, with the reliability of that Kia being as good as it was, I want something that is just as good, if not. What's also a very important mandatory thing is the fact that I need something that could tow. Because don't get me wrong, I've owned 20 cars in my possession, with the 21st coming all the way from Germany, hopefully by next year. But I do need something that could tow because I want something that's a little bit higher off the ground, like something like a small SUV because my grandmother's in a wheelchair. And as such, it is much easier for her to get a car like a Kia Seltos versus a car like a Kia Optima. She needs something higher off the ground. And something with four-wheel drive will definitely be a big plus to have because of the fact that we live in the snow belt here in Northeast Ohio. Another reason why I wanted to tow is because I go to Washington, D.C. as much as I can, at least every year, to attend the annual parade of Trabants that they have at the International Spy Museum. I was there for 2017, 2021, 2022, and of course 2023. They specialize in having a low car show of this car as well as other Eastern Bloc vehicles. So it's the only real time I really get the chance to get parts without having to wait 2 or so months just to get them from Germany. So when I go to the parade of Trabants, I go there to not only take pictures, take videos, and so on and so forth, but also just to meet a lot of cool people because I have a lot of friends who own Trabants here in the United States. I got a few in California, I got a few in New York, I got quite a few of them here in Ohio. I got, as far as I know, 3 others. But yeah, having a vehicle that could tow this 1,300-pound lemon is definitely going to be a plus. Because like I said, even though I could drive it short distances, let's say from here to the local store and back, it would be absolutely problematic driving it from Akron, Ohio to Washington, D.C. Something like my neighbor across the street, that Lexus SUV that she has, or even that Infiniti right there. Those 2 vehicles, well those 3 vehicles, including that Trailblazer, would be absolutely perfect. As for that Nissan Rogue over there, that thing can just be scrapped for all I care, because Nissans of that era have terrible transmissions. If there's one other requirement I want for my new car is this, and the reason why I'm saying just one more is because my brother, I'm only 5'7". My brother though is much taller, he's 6'5", and I have a cousin who's 7'4". So definitely, room inside a must is definitely on the list. So, despite being roomy and reliable, we need a car that's a mix of both things. So, I am willing to spend about $6,000 once saved. It should take me a couple of months because of my cerebral palsy. So, I work 2 jobs as it is now. One job I have, the money goes straight into my health fund. So, in case, let's say, if I need some money for my health, I got it. But my main job, which I work at a place called MRP Solutions up in Twinsburg, Ohio, I will need to get the money saved from that job. So, it should take me about 3 or so months. And once I complete a couple more months in, I can definitely be eligible for some overtime, and I'm definitely, no doubt, taking advantage of it, because right now I work 8 hours a day. But once I take advantage of the overtime scheme, I can work up to 12 hours a day, up to 7 days a week. So with all that out of the way, I'm down to 1 car in my fleet, which is not the end of the world, but at the same time, it is a pain in the ass taking public transportation to and from my jobs. But at the same time, I'm really ready for another car. I'm ready more than anything else, but it's going to take time, and I will definitely keep you guys informed how things go on in the upcoming videos, especially with my yellow car that I'm going to be making mechanical progress on it, especially given the fact I just replaced the fuel hose on it, and it stopped leaking gas. So I'm pretty happy about that, but I still need to rebuild its fuel valve and replace its carburetor. So more videos are yet to come, and hopefully we can keep everything going all at once. And yeah. If you guys want any more information, if you guys want to recommend any cars to me in terms of a good daily driver that meets all those requirements, feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section, and I'll look forward to reading them.